Jimmy Cliff's Lifestyle, 2025. There are voices that define a generation, and then there are voices that define a nation. From the roots of Jamaica to the hearts of the world, one man's music became the soundtrack of resilience, peace, and faith. This is the story of Jimmy Cliff, the living legend, the voice of reggae before reggae had a name. And today, in 2025, he continues to live a life that reflects wisdom, balance, and legacy. Welcome to Jimmy Cliff Lifestyle 2025, a journey through his world of rhythm, reflection, and richness. Jimmy Cliff was born James Chambers on the 1st of April 1948 in Somerton, Street James Parish, Jamaica, a small rural town surrounded by sugarcane fields and hills kissed by tropical rain. His father was a tailor, and his mother was a domestic worker. They didn't have much, but they had love and music. As a child, Jimmy would stand outside church halls and community dances, listening to the sounds of mento, ska, and gospel. He often made his own instruments from tin cans and wires, dreaming of one day performing for the world. By his teenage years, he moved to Kingston, the beating heart of Jamaican music. Life in Kingston's ghettos wasn't easy, but it was there that Jimmy's talent found direction. He attended Kingston Technical High School, where he wrote songs between classes and sang at talent shows. In 1962, his song Hurricane Hattie became a local hit, and his destiny was sealed. He met producer Leslie Kong, who became a lifelong mentor and guided him to create his first hits under the name Jimmy Cliff. That partnership would launch him into the international spotlight. The birth of a global icon. Through the late 1960s, Jimmy Cliff became one of the first artists to take Jamaican music beyond its shores. Songs like Wonderful World, Beautiful People, and Many Rivers to Cross carried messages of hope and unity, themes that resonated globally during a time of social change. But it was 1972 that changed everything. Jimmy starred in and wrote the soundtrack for the film The Harder They Come. The movie told the story of a struggling musician in Jamaica, a reflection of the real-life struggles faced by many in the island's music scene. The film became an international sensation. It wasn't just entertainment, it was a cultural awakening. Through Jimmy Cliff, the world discovered reggae long before Bob Marley became a household name. His voice became a symbol of Jamaican identity, rebellion, and pride. A lifetime of global recognition. As his fame grew, Jimmy toured relentlessly from London to Lagos, New York to Tokyo. He shared stages with legends like Stevie Wonder, Bob Dylan, the Rolling Stones, and Paul Simon. In 1993, he released the Grammy-winning album Cliffhanger, and by 2010, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, a rare honor for a reggae artist. He received Jamaica's highest national honors: the Order of Merit, OM, the Order of Jamaica, OJ, the Order of Distinction. In recognition of his contribution to world culture, he was also appointed UNESCO Artist for Peace. Even now, in 2025, Jimmy remains one of the few artists who seamlessly blended soul, ska, reggae, and pop, creating a sound that transcends borders. At 77, Jimmy Cliff has slowed down, but not stopped. He divides his time between three homes: a seaside villa in Montego Bay, overlooking the Caribbean Sea; a modern family home in Kingston, near the studios and cultural centers; and a quiet apartment in Miami, where he retreats for peace and privacy. Each home reflects a different side of him: the artist, the father, the philosopher. He wakes up with the sunrise, often around 5:30 a.m. He starts his day with meditation, followed by deep breathing exercises and stretches inspired by yoga and Tai Chi. Breakfast is simple but nutritious: fresh papaya, coconut water, whole grain bread, and herbal tea infused with moringa and turmeric. Jimmy believes in the power of nature. He often says, "The closer you stay to the earth, the stronger your roots." After breakfast, he writes sometimes songs, sometimes poetry, sometimes just reflections. He still believes that creativity is a daily discipline, not a random spark. In the afternoons, he walks through his gardens, tends to his plants, or takes a swim in the sea. His favorite time of day is sunset, when the world slows down and the sky glows with golden light. He often sits with a guitar, humming softly, as waves crash in rhythm to his thoughts. Jimmy Cliff's longevity and energy are the results of conscious living. He follows a plant-based diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, and Caribbean herbs. Typical daily meals include breakfast, tropical fruits, oats, coconut milk. Lunch, steamed callaloo, quinoa, lentil stew. Dinner, light soups, salads, and sometimes grilled fish. He avoids processed foods, sugar, and alcohol, preferring herbal remedies passed down through generations. He practices Tai Chi, swimming, and morning walks for fitness. He believes that exercise keeps the mind sharp and the soul calm. In his words, health is not just the body, it's mind, music, and movement. As of 2025, Jimmy Cliff's estimated net worth stands around 40 million USD. But wealth for him is not measured in money, it's measured in meaning. Still, his career earnings come from diverse sources. Decades of music royalties from global hits, film rights and streaming revenue from The Harder They Come, touring and live performances across continents, publishing rights and licensing deals, investments in real estate and ecotourism. He owns several properties in Jamaica, including a private retreat in Street Anne Parish, known for its natural waterfalls, a studio complex in Kingston for mentoring young artists. In Miami, his apartment reflects elegance, modern art, gold records on the wall, and panoramic views of the Atlantic. Despite his fortune, Jimmy lives modestly, driving a Range Rover or Tesla, dressing simply, and often walking barefoot around his property. He once said, "Luxury is freedom, the freedom to live at your own rhythm." Jimmy Cliff's family is his anchor. He's married to Francine Mohabir, a Moroccan-born artist and designer. The two share a bond built on creativity and mutual respect. They have children, including Lilty Cliff, who is also pursuing music and art. The family spends time together on holidays, often traveling to Morocco, Europe, and occasionally Africa, connecting with roots and cultures that inspire them. Family gatherings are filled with music, laughter, and storytelling, with Jimmy often strumming the guitar as his grandchildren dance. He teaches them humility and gratitude qualities he says fame can easily erase. The real wealth in life, Jimmy says, is to see your children smile and your culture live on. Even in 2025, Jimmy Cliff is one of the most stylish figures in reggae. His wardrobe reflects his cultural pride. Colorful prints, linen shirts, hand-woven hats, and custom jewelry symbolizing African heritage. He avoids flashy brands, preferring handcrafted Jamaican and African attire. He believes clothes should tell a story not about money, but about memory. He is often seen wearing earth tones and vibrant patterns, blending elegance with authenticity. "My style is the sound of my island," he once said, natural, bold, and free. In 2025, Jimmy Cliff remains active in music, not out of obligation, but passion. His recent album, Roots and Renaissance, released in late 2024, combines classic reggae, Afrobeat, and gospel fusion. The album topped charts in Europe and received millions of streams globally. Collaborations include artists like Coffee, Chronix, and Damian Marley, bridging generations through sound. He still performs at select festivals. Reggae Sumfest, Jamaica. Glastonbury, UK. Rototom Sunsplash, Spain. Each performance is a celebration, not a concert filled with energy, wisdom, and pure Jamaican soul. He tells fans, "Music is the bloodline of humanity. I'm just one of its carriers." Jimmy Cliff's influence extends far beyond music. Through the Jimmy Cliff Foundation, he funds music education for Jamaican youth, scholarships for underprivileged children, community farming programs, disaster relief efforts across the Caribbean. He's also a strong voice for mental health awareness, encouraging people to heal through music and community. In 2024, he partnered with the United Nations on a peace campaign promoting cultural understanding through art. He donates quietly, never seeking attention for it, believing that true charity comes from the heart, not the headlines. The purpose of power, he says, is to lift others higher. Jimmy Cliff is not bound to any one religion. He believes in universal spirituality, a blend of Rastafarian, Christian, and African philosophies. He meditates daily, practices gratitude, and avoids negativity. His philosophy is rooted in one idea: love is the highest frequency, everything else is noise. He spends time in nature, often barefoot on the sand, feeling the earth beneath his feet. In 2025, he's writing a spiritual memoir titled Rivers Still to Cross, where he shares lessons from his life and music. Even in the digital age, Jimmy Cliff maintains a warm, authentic online presence. On Instagram, with over 2 million followers, he shares glimpses of his daily life, studio moments, family time, and messages of hope. His posts often include quotes, poems, and memories from tours. His YouTube channel features live performances and behind-the-scenes footage, keeping fans connected to his timeless music. Fans describe him as ageless, pure-hearted, and forever reggae. Jimmy Cliff's lifestyle includes frequent travel, but always with purpose. He loves visiting Africa, particularly Ghana and Ethiopia, where he feels spiritually connected. He also spends time in London, where many of his early songs were recorded. He prefers luxury with simplicity, eco-resorts, natural spas, and organic cuisine. In 2025, he's known to stay at the Round Hill Resort in Montego Bay and eco-retreats in Negril. His travel philosophy is simple: see the world, but never lose sight of home. Jimmy Cliff is calm yet magnetic, a man whose presence commands respect without words. He's known for listening more than he speaks, and when he does, his words carry wisdom. Younger musicians describe him as a mentor, philosopher, and father figure. He continues to inspire through humility, discipline, and creativity. In 2025, his music is studied in universities, and his lyrics quoted in classrooms and documentaries. His life reminds us that success is not measured by fame, but by how deeply you touch others. Jimmy Cliff shows no signs of stopping. He's preparing for his Global Unity Tour 2026, a worldwide concert series celebrating 60 years of music and peace. He's also developing an eco-village project in Street James, designed to educate youth in sustainable living and creative arts. He continues recording, mentoring, and spreading love through his foundation. "I don't retire from music," he says. "Music retires into me." So, as the waves crash against Jamaica's golden shores, the voice of Jimmy Cliff still echoes. A reminder that dreams are not limited by age, time, or circumstance. You can get it if you really want. But you must try, and keep trying till you succeed. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Jimmy Cliff's lifestyle 2025, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories about the world's most inspiring stars. Tell us in the comments, who should we cover next?